All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put a title into our header. Right now it only has a page number and we need to put a header of the name of the document. When you first put in a cover letter and you put the title of the cover letter in, you used what was called a title field. That's really important because if you've used a title field, you can apply that field to the header. Let's watch and see how that's done. You're going to go to the page where you wish to put your first header. In this case, it will be on page 4, but it's in fact entitled page 3. And because I'm in the header, I can look for something called quick parts. You've seen quick parts before because I showed you how to create a footer very quickly using quick parts. In this case, we're going to find the field entitled title. So I go up to quick parts, I go down to the word field, and then in this scroll bar of all these different items here, I look for something called title. When I find title, I click on it once, and I click OK. What it does, it puts the title from the cover page into the page on my header. Now what I want to do is I want to move that over. So I can do a couple of things. I can click in front of the word medical office procedures and I can move that over. And I can continue to move that over and maybe move it back until I find a spot that I like. Well, I might just want to move this over a little bit more and maybe just a little bit more. The next thing I need to do, according to the instructions in Pitman, is I need to put a line right there. Now if I drew a line in it would be really finicky work. So what I want to do is I want to use what's called the bar tab. Now the bar tab is just one straight vertical line. So what I do is I click until I get the bar tab, and then I find an area between the last letter in medical office procedures and between the number 3. I click right on the ruler and I determine whether that's the good place for it. If you don't like it, just move it over a little bit. Oh, I got rid of it. So just move it. And there it is. I'm going to click outside the header and see if that looks right. Okay, it's not bad, but you'll notice that it's a little too close to the top of the page. According to Pitman, you want to have it about 1 inch from the top of the page. Now, in order to do that with this document, if I was to move it right down to 1 inch, it would look a little odd in that it's quite close to the first title on that page. So I'm going to cheat a little bit, and you can do this just as long as there's enough space between the top of the page. And I'm going to bring it up to about 0.8. So ideally you want to get as close to 1 inch as possible, but I'm going to leave it at 0.8 because when I double click outside of that and I take a look at it now, I have a nice even space there, but look at this, I've tried to even this out so that I also have an even space there. So what I've shown you how to do today is how to put in a header that includes the title field so that you're as accurate as possible. We have used a tab that is called a bar tab, and we just use the current number that already exists. That's how you do a header. Alright, so there's one last thing that we need to consider. I'm going to go back into my header and I'm going to ensure that I in fact have the right font. So the other thing to think about is what is the font and is it the same font that is being used in the rest of the document? If it is in fact the same font, then you're fine. If it isn't, so let's just take a look at that, that's Arial and that is Arial, then you're good to go. So make sure that the header and the font in the document is the same.